smile shines as bright.
Wake up, wake up. Wake up, little Susies.
At night. Her heart is as kind as can be. She has the patience of a saint, but if you push her, oh Lordy. A straight talker is Smiley. She's the salt of the earth. Make no mistake, she matters.
Yes, y'all wake up. You hear that alarm going off. It's Smiley.
Oh boy, that girl can matter. Go Smiley. She's Smiley, alright. She's Smiley. Make no mistake why she's here. She's Smiley, alright. She's Smiley. If you're guilty, she'll smell out your fear. Missing posters and stories of heartache and fear. She tells us all of the heartbreaking tears. She can sniff out the guilty from a mile away. If Smiley's on the case, then she's here to stay. She cares about these missing children. She cares deeply about them all. She speaks the truth with integrity. For the truth, she will seek it all. She's Smiley, alright. She's Smiley. Make no mistake why she's here. She's Smiley, alright. She's Smiley. If you're guilty, she'll smell out your fear. Smiley's questions are like a heat-seeking missile. She's going straight for the bullseye. Don't ever believe you can't fool her. She's too wise, man, she won't comply. She values freedom like the 4th of July. She values respect even more. If you want to earn a place at Smiley's table, watch the clock, it takes time for sure. She's Smiley, alright. She's Smiley. Make no mistake why she's here. She's Smiley, alright. She's Smiley. If you're guilty, she'll smell out your fear. If you break her trust, you're done for. Trust don't grow back like grass. So don't give Smiley a reason to doubt you, or that friendship will shatter like glass. She's a damn good woman, that much we know. She puts in the hours to bring them kids home. If your child is missing, you want Smiley on the case. She is always willing and she gives so much grace. She's a Smiley, alright. She's a Smiley. Make no mistake why she's here. She's Smiley, alright. She's Smiley. If you're guilty, she'll smell out your fear. If you're guilty, you better feel fear.
Well, good morning. I still didn't get my mouse, so y'all are still dealing with crazy here. Hello, Daniel Berry Sports Highlight. Good morning to you. Good morning to you, and good morning to anybody in the bushes. Shake it out, shake it out. Come on in. You are welcome. Hello, everybody, and hello, anybody in vertical. I can't see you, but it's okay. We are here this morning, this Friday morning. Good morning to you. And I know I had my time screwed up. I don't even know what time I'm on, honey. I thought I was on the same time as everybody else, but you know what, where I'm at, I ain't going to even say where I'm at, but honey, these people don't even know what time they're on. I'm like, are you on this time zone? Are you on this time zone? One person said yes. One person said no. Then the other person said, what is that time zone? Honey, I don't even know where I'm at. I'm in outer space. You can't make this shit up. Hey, dreaming blue skies. Hello, hello, hello. Honey, I know what time it is where I'm supposed to be, but I ain't where I'm supposed to be. Good morning, Stephanie. Y'all put what time it is where y'all are at. At least I know. Ah, darn. And the problem is, you know how your phone changes where you're at? My phone did change where I'm at, okay? And my computer changed where I'm at. But the problem is when I set up my live shows, go figure. I'm sitting here waiting and waiting, and the StreamYard don't go with whatever time zone you're in. Honey, they need to get with the program. And I'm sitting here going, what? Good morning, Stephanie. Good morning, dreaming blue skies and sandy beaches. Good morning, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. I hope y'all got your coffee or your sweet tea. I bought me a sweet tea last night, and it's just not the same. It's not the same. Mm-mm. Bought me a huge sweet tea at Wendy's. I drank maybe a little, I don't know, maybe a fourth. It was still sitting there this morning. I don't know. Just didn't taste the same. I hope everybody's doing well this morning. We'll get on with it because I don't know what my day's got going here. I don't know what I'm going to get out and kick today. But anyway, happy Friday. I hope everybody is doing well. You know, I brought you this information a few days ago of this lady that was found. She's 62 years old now, Michelle Hadley Smith. It's already coming out. Y'all have probably seen it. We're going to bring some more about it today. There's some things going around, but you know, it is a miracle that she's found. I have nothing really bad to say about it. I think this is an opportunity, and I want to get into it first. What I'm gonna go in a whole different direction with this, and I probably, unless something comes out, I probably am not gonna speak on it again because I think, first of all, no matter what's happened over the years, you know, and we'll get into the story. I didn't even mean to bring all this out, what I'm saying right now, but we don't know everything that's happened. This lady disappeared 24 years ago. We know that. And she was found. Okay. That's a miracle in itself, a whole miracle. And hello, Jewish plays. And she left children and husband. It's coming out. And, but we don't know the whole situation. Anyway, we're going to get into it, but I think I'm going to take it a whole different direction this morning because let's just go. Okay. So recently, new information led the police there to contact Smith in North Carolina. Okay, on February 20th, 2026, she was found alive and well. And she asked, which is no sin, she asked that her location be kept private. Okay. And after she was located, though, a few days ago, it came out that there was an outstanding arrest warrant, okay, for her. And that arrest warrant was from 2001, but it was for a failure to go to court, to appear in court on a DWI charge. Okay. So on February 25th, just a few days ago, 2026, she was taken into custody by the Robertson County Sheriff's Office there. Not for her disappearance, okay? Not for any of that, because they had already said that was all kosher. That was good. Good morning, Gypsy. Hello, hello, honey. But it was for the warrant. It wasn't even for the DWI itself. It was because she did not show up for court. So Michelle Smith, she posted bond, and she's scheduled to reappear in the Rockingham County District Court on March 26, 2026. Now, her daughter was a teenager when she disappeared. She kind of, I think she's already did an interview somewhere, but she expressed mixed emotions that she had disappeared. Of course, of course. And she also expressed joy that her mother was found alive, as did, I believe, her cousin the other day, or somebody in the family. We kind of showed that. But there was also anger and heartbreak over those circumstances, and I can totally understand that. I can't even imagine. Okay, I can't imagine. Now, in this interview, in this news interview, the lady did, though, if I'm hearing this right, and I believe I was, because, and I'm speaking of the lady that disappeared, you can barely hear. I don't know if I've got that one up. I had two, but I'm only going to play one. I think it'll show it. I'm pretty sure it will. You could barely hear. And if I was hearing right, the lady went to the door, and it did have the captions on it and everything. They said that the lady that was missing got married, okay? And that her husband died. And this is where I want to take this, because he died last year, okay? I hope y'all are following me, because she was already married when she disappeared, and she had a child, at least one child that I know, but I think she had, if I'm hearing correctly, three maybe. Anyway, when she left or disappeared. Now, see, people leave, disappear, get kidnapped, whatever, for all different reasons. We can get into that later. I don't want this to get complicated, and I don't want to make it confusing. That's not why I'm here. That's not where I'm trying to go, and I'm not trying to make excuses for this lady. But just in case it has crossed my mind, and I do have to wonder what happened to her and this husband. He died, okay? And we don't know what happened, okay? I always go back to those girls that was held captive. Y'all remember the White House? You remember? I mean, we have Elizabeth Smart, thank God. All those things. Things happen. Okay. And I'm not saying that happened in this case or anything like that. But I think this can be a teaching for the world, because sometimes we forget. And again, I'm not saying this case whatsoever. But sometimes people can be taken, and then Stockholm syndrome sets in. Again, I'm not saying that's what happened. But I want this channel, this here today, to be a wake-up call for anybody out there to understand that that is a real thing. Again, not on this particular case, not on this lady, but I think this is a great opportunity to talk about that. Stockholm syndrome sets in, and it is a real psychological response where kidnapping or abuse victims develop empathy or sympathy for their captor. Many feel protective over them. They may defend them, and sometimes they form a bond or a friendship with them. So I'm not in any way, shape, or form saying that that is what happened here in this case at all. But I have to tell you, it makes me wonder. Good morning, let them. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I hope you're doing well. For those, because some people don't even understand that, for those, it can happen to someone who is isolated. It can happen to anyone. It can happen to anyone. It don't have to be someone that's missing or kidnapped. So therefore, I wanted to bring it forward. When someone is isolated or under extreme stress, or they are dependent, and this falls under their captors as well, sometimes it's just a survival method. They experience cycles of fear, so they give small acts of kindness. That's how your brain functions. That's how it works, and it creates this attachment, survival. It's a weird thing. It's a strange thing. When a person's safety depends entirely on a person harming or controlling them, they focus on these small, kind things. That way they can kind of control the danger they're in and stuff like that. Again, I repeat, for anybody coming in here, I'm not saying that in this case. I'm using this as a teaching now where we can open up to this conversation, because nobody ever talks about these things. Nobody ever talks about these things, and it needs to be talked about. But you know what? It's not a weakness. The nervous system is a real touchy, strange thing, and it's survival. It's how people survive. But not every kidnapping victim experiences this. Sometimes it's just what looks like bonding, but it is not. It's an actual fear. It's protection. Okay, bonding is actually fear because of the manipulation. And it does not mean that they agree or agree with what happens. It doesn't mean that they were not harmed or are not being harmed. And it definitely doesn't mean that it is their choice or was their choice. Now, you say, well, the man died. We're going to get to that in a minute. If that was in this case, we'll get to that, because that's what I wanted to cover as well, because that could happen to anybody. Let's though watch this video, because this is what we're talking about today. Hold on. And this goes to News Nation, I believe is who I got. I still don't have my mouth shut. Good morning. Oh, Lord. Oh, hold on. Bear with me. Okay, so y'all watch. I can't believe this. Okay, hold on. So this is a credit to News Nation.
In 2001, and when she was found alive last week, she reportedly said she didn't want contact with her family. Well, now she has been arrested. Now, it's not for disappearing. It's in connection with
that's her now.
DWI case from back in November 2001. This is a month before she vanished. And this new mugshot is likely the first confirmed image of Michelle Hunley-Smith since the day this mystery all began. And we're going to get back to them in just a minute. But first, a quick recap. Michelle was last seen December 9, 2001. She told her family she was driving from Eden, North Carolina to a Kmart in Martinsville, Virginia, just 17 miles away to go Christmas shopping, but she never made it home. Her husband, 3 kids, ages 19, 14, and 7, they were left behind for more than 2 decades. There was no trace of her until last week when an alert on a database led detectives to track her down alive and well in North Carolina. But the now 62-year-old seemingly requested privacy and no contact with her family and told investigators she left back then due to what she called ongoing domestic issues. Now, that alone was shocking. And now this? The Rockingham County Sheriff's Office confirms Smith was arrested Wednesday on an outstanding order for failure to appear on a November 2001 DWI charge. Court records show she just didn't show up for a December 27, 2001 court date, and the warrant remained active all these years. Michelle has since posted bond. However, that is not even the end of the story. The Daily Mail reports that Michelle told them that she's now back in touch with her daughter, Amanda, who was 14 when Michelle left. Michelle allegedly told the Daily Mail, quote, "She has forgiven me, and she has said I'm human like anybody else." And by the way, in a 2018 interview with her daughter, Amanda, it's resurfaced, where she alleges that her mother, Michelle, was struggling with alcohol at the time of her disappearance, along with these fights with her husband and infidelity. In fact, here's Amanda Hunley on the Vanished podcast in 2018.
She had lost her prior job a few months before she had left because she had worked at the Eden veterinarian. I found out later on, she told us that she quit, and I had found out later on that she got fired for drinking on the job. Her and my dad, they argued, and they got physical a few times. My mom and my dad cheated on each other. If she wanted to leave my dad, that's one thing, but to leave us, I just don't see it happening.
Now, I agree with the daughter. If that is all true, and I don't know, I wasn't there. If she wanted to leave the dad, that was one thing. If, it was an abusive relationship, why not just get a divorce? Why put the kids through that? Why leave the kids? But sometimes all of that can be going on and something could still happen. Freak things happen. You go out mad. People can see people vulnerable. We don't know. Again, I'm not taking up for this lady at all. But life happens. But, I wish people would not put their kids through things like this at all. Put the alcohol and the drugs down, people. I don't care. These stories every day, we see stuff like this every day in real life. It's not worth it. I don't care if your kids are teenagers. Put the pills, stop popping the pills, stop putting the alcohol in your mouth. Stop it. It's nothing but trouble. And it does cause mental issues. If you don't have mental issues, you're going to have mental issues by the time you keep doing this stuff. And now they have all this over-the-counter shit. You can buy all the stuff in the stores. I feel like, in my opinion, all this shit, over-the-counter stuff in the stores, everywhere you look, it should be outlawed. That's just my opinion. I mean, you can buy the kratom, whatever in the hell it's called. You can tell I don't take the shit. All this shit, it's just for cheap-ass junkies is all in the hell it's for. Money-making business. I'll preach on it. I'll preach on it all day. But listen, I'm not making excuses for this lady. Isn't it easier just to go get a divorce? Isn't it easier just to walk away? But why walk away from your kids? Don't put them in it. But I'm not saying this is right. Sometimes people remember everything different. But look, that's why you always, if you're in an argument, you don't leave mad, because you never know what can happen out there. People choose people who's vulnerable, and they don't have to be kids. They don't have to be kids, they can be adults and people can target them. We don't know what happened to this lady. I'm just saying. Hold on.
All right, I'm joined now by Megan Reardon, host of True Crime with Megan, who's been following
Hey,
this
we
case
know her.
very closely. Thanks so much for taking the time. So, what are you hearing about the new reporting about where she was living and
I
this
can't see y'all right now,
possible
y'all.
reunion with her daughter?
Well, I'm hearing that for a while she had been on the road with allegedly a man named Randy Johnson. They traveled for about several years, and then about 12 or 13 years ago, they moved back to a town called St. Paul's, North Carolina, which is a really small town, and they have been living there kind
I'll
of
bring it
under
up
the
where I can see
radar, I
y'all.
guess. You know, people said they met them and knew them, neighbors, but they kind of stayed to themselves from what I gather, from what the Daily Mail and New York Post posted today.
Okay.
As in for her daughter, her middle daughter, Amanda, I believe she was 14 when she left, when Michelle left. They have allegedly been back
Can
in
y'all
contact,
hear that
which
okay?
is wild because Michelle said she wanted no contact. But now I'm not sure if her daughter reached out, but they have been in contact. She said she wanted to start with that
I'm
daughter
scared to touch any
first.
buttons. I don't
Can we
know.
talk about Can we talk about that for a second? Because I'm very confused. I don't know if you've been able to uncover why she left. Right? I asked the sheriff this the other night. This idea of domestic issues. He couldn't verify whether or not that's true. But to
I'm
leave,
not sure
your
how they
children,
found
do
her,
you
if
have
somebody
any
tipped them
understanding
off or
about
what, but
why she would leave?
Well, I read in the post of the article today that she kept referring to her mental state during that time. I know alcoholism can lead to mental health issues, and mental health issues can lead you to doing things you wouldn't normally do. Do I agree with what she did? Absolutely not. I wish she would have gotten help for her alleged alcoholism and, her alleged mental issues and then been there for her children, but that wasn't the case.
And by the way, this big update, right? Her getting arrested. To be clear, it's not for DWI. It's for failure to appear, which was still in the system. Right. It was still an active warrant. What do we know about the status of this case? And I kind of wonder, is this a sense of justice for allegedly abandoning her kids?
I kind of think it is. She's going to have to go back and face her past now. I believe her court date is March 26th. So that's in exactly a month. She'll have to go back to the area she mysteriously vanished from and face that charge for failing to appear in court.
And by the way, real quick, she didn't disappear because she didn't want to appear in court, right? I mean, we don't know anything about that.
Right. I don't think so.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our News Nation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based.
okay. Hold on. I have to apologize to y'all because this mouse business, I keep reaching over the side. I keep reaching over the side for my mouse because I'm so used. You know what? I'm just old. I'm old school. I just can't. I just can't. Oh my God. Oh my God. So anyway, but yeah, that wasn't the one I was gonna put up. But let me see if I can. Lord have mercy. I will let y'all. Let me see if I can find it on my phone. See if I will let y'all hear it. Okay, maybe y'all can hear it better on this one. This is the lady. She went up to her house. Hold on.
We are on top of breaking news on WFMY News 2 at 6. There are several new details tonight in the Michelle Huntley Smith case. She is the Rockingham County woman who disappeared 24 years ago, but turned up alive and well last week.
We now know where she lives because of her arrest and what she looks like. On the left is a picture from her from 2001. On the right is what she looks like now. Deputies took her mugshot after arresting her for failing to appear in court on an old DWI charge from 2001.
Y'all can't see it.
And because of her arrest, we now know she was found in Robinson County, which is
you can't see it anyway. There's nothing to show.
Carolina line. WFMY News
that light's too bright.
Drove down there today to try to talk to her. She is live with new information.
It don't show her at the door, but she goes up the door. You can hear her.
Yeah, that's right, Julia and Chad. We're here in the small town of St. Paul's, just south of Fayetteville, almost 150 miles away
I'm gonna put
from
the link in
Eden,
chat.
where Michelle Huntley Smith went missing over 2 decades ago. Now we're here in front of this home because this is where she was arrested just 24 hours or so ago. Now, I want to show you video that we took of us walking up to the home where deputies arrested her. We filmed the interaction. It that we took of us walking up.
Hold on a minute. I know this. I stopped it just a minute. Oh, shit.
To the home where deputies arrested her. We filmed the interaction. It that we took of us walking up.
Hold on a minute. I am so sorry. Hold on. Hold on just a minute.
Hard to hear.
Okay,
we added subtitles to what she said to us. We want to be clear. The voice you will hear is a woman who answered the door where this arrest was made.
Please not property. I am not here for any interview. Once I ask you to leave, you must leave or I will call the police.
She knocked on the door. She told her, you must leave or I'll call the police. I'm not doing no interviews. And the lady started to walk off. She said, I'm telling you right now, you leave or I'm calling the police.
Now, we also spoke with a nearby neighbor off camera who gave us some more information. This neighbor says she did not even know Smith's name, but they had talked a few times. But it was really just about small things where Smith might have asked the neighbor what her dog's names were or said hi to her children that were out playing. Now, something else that the neighbor told us is that Smith rarely ever came out. If anything,
that caught my
attention. To let her dog out. The neighbor also spoke about a man who lived at the residence with Smith. Smith told the neighbor that this was her husband and that he died just about a year ago. Now, going back to last week, the neighbor also tells us that there were about 4 or 5 cars outside of Smith's home where this story broke just last week. A week ago,
that caught my attention. I'm going to get to that in a minute.
Deputies did go inside and speak with Smith. Now, just to kind of paint a picture of how big this story has gotten, both nationally and even internationally, both the New York Post and Daily Mail are here with us again in this small town of St. Paul's where I am live right now. Nixon Norman, sending it back to you guys in the studio, WFMY News 2.
Okay, so y'all can study that video if you want. That was the first one that I saw. So just a couple of things got my attention on there. And so again, none of this makes any of this that I'm talking about true, but it did open it opened my eyes to, well, maybe I need to talk about this. So it don't matter what anybody else thinks, right? It don't matter what I think. It don't make it true. Nobody's come out and say anything. But again, it is awareness to the fact, okay? Not every kidnapping victim, we don't even know she was kidnapped. According to her daughter, that was a child or a teen at the time her mother left, they were having, her and her father were having, problems, and her mother was going Christmas shopping, and people leave all the time. They disappear, but did they leave her? I don't know why she left. Okay, I don't know, but I know that when she was found, she didn't want anybody to know where she was at. That come out. I told y'all in that live that I was watching a true police show the other day that comes on, and the cop spotted a elderly lady, and she didn't want to be told where she's found because her older son she lived with was abusive to her. So, there's many different things with stories why people leave. But anyway, it's neither here nor there. It's not a crime to leave, okay? We don't know things. But not every kidnapping victim experiences Stockholm Syndrome, okay? I just want y'all to understand what it is. I'm not specifically speaking on this case. Sometimes what it looks like is bonding. It's not. It's actually fear or manipulation. And it doesn't mean they agree with anything that happened. It doesn't mean that they were not harmed. Okay, it doesn't mean any of that. It doesn't mean it was their choice. It doesn't mean any of that. And I'm not saying that in this case. I just want to bring awareness to all of it, period. And then I don't want to speak on it anymore. I just thought this was an opportunity, but it does depend on someone's survival, period. And it shows that someone is controlling them, and it shows how your brain shifts and works. But remember, we also have to be careful, very careful, not to cause, not because, not every case in the world is Stockholm syndrome. We got to remember that. Sometimes what looks like bonding is fear, manipulation, it's grooming, it's trauma bonding. We cannot diagnose anyone from the outside, just like we can't judge anyone from the outside. Good morning, Raymond. This is just something that has crossed my mind more than one time. Now that I saw she was arrested, I was like, But when I thought I heard the neighbor say about a husband that died a year ago, I was more like, But I'm entitled to my thoughts and opinions and my and right? Just like y'all are. What looks confusing to the public can sometimes, just be a brain trying to survive. If someone is experiencing something like Stockholm syndrome or severe trauma bond, then the capture dies. And this is what I was speaking of. It caught my attention when the lady said, and she could have been just, if you go on about your life and you're happy and you want to just, you're not going to be, and I don't know personally, it's easy to say, because I get so mad at people, even some of my friends know this. I've told them, I'm straight up, I'm blunt, and I've had to tell them, stop saying, even in some of these cases, they know, they might even jump in here. I've had to say, stop. They're not you. You're not them. It's not the same as your stuff. So I have to be careful not to do that too, because it's easy to say, thank you for being a member for 11 months. Woo-hoo, Raymond, thank you. Because it's easy to sit there and say what we would do, what we would do, what we would do. We don't know what in the hell we would do, to be honest with you. It's easy to say. You ain't in somebody else's shoes. And you ain't right there when that loaded pew-pew's right there at you. It's easy. Yeah. We can all yak, and dak. Even I can. We all can. But when it comes down to it, we don't know what we would do. And if you sit there and you say different, you're a damn liar. You're a damn lie. Stop it with that bullshit. Stop it. But listen, what I was getting at is Stockholm syndrome or severe trauma bond, and then the person dies. That does not automatically mean the person will suddenly feel they can go home or leave safe. So this is what I want to stress. Because we go, well, if this was the case, then why didn't they just leave and go home? I'm fixing to tell you. This is what I'm fixing to tell you. Now, again, it don't mean this was Michelle or this happened to Michelle or this was Michelle's happenings or her case. But this is what I'm fixing to tell you. So because this is so important to understand. And if you don't believe me, go ask any of these doctors you believe. Okay? Check. Trauma doesn't turn off overnight. Even if that other person, the controlling party, dies, the psychological conditioning is still there, okay? It's still there. That fear is still there. It's still inside of you. It's still active. It's activated. Oh gosh, stop. Okay? It's still there. Hold on a minute, I gotta look at this. Oh God. Hold on, I gotta send them too. That don't stop. Trying to get them off my stuff. Shit. So, anyway, fear responses. Have you ever been so scared? Some people are scared people bite them through the damn phone. Literally. Fear don't reset. It don't reset. You don't just forget that. Some people think nobody will believe them. Some people think maybe they'll get in trouble, even though they didn't do anything wrong. They think people will blame them, even though it's not their fault. Maybe they think they'll be arrested. Maybe that's what that lady thought when they come and found her. I don't know. Again, I don't know if this even applies to her. Some people think maybe my family hates me. Shame, fear, being scared. That's power, manipulation, control. Have y'all ever, I don't know, maybe you haven't, some people haven't, but there's some people that will literally, and it may be so minor, it may be so simple to some people, shame or fear, something in their past or something that we wouldn't think twice about, that is nothing. And some passing people on the road wouldn't think shit about it. Some people would take literally to their grave than to say it out loud or to let certain people hear or anything, for the shame and the fear of. But they actually did nothing wrong. And they have no reason to fear and nothing to be ashamed of. And they won't come forward. And they won't go back. And they won't let go. So, therefore, sometimes they might not let anyone know they're okay because they are afraid. So the victim's identity can change. They may have been told repeatedly over and over and over again that their family didn't care about them. They may have a whole new identity. They may no longer feel like they belong anywhere. And after years of going back, they can feel it can feel more scary to them and terrifying than just staying out of sight, out of mind, staying hidden. And if their person dies, especially after years and years, and they have this Stockholm syndrome, that person may actually grieve for them. They may feel responsible in some kind of way, shape, or form. And you may not understand that. I don't even understand that. But that's the way that that's the way that it happens. You know? So I don't understand it. I don't understand it at all. So the truth is the truth. Let's just be real clear here. But not every long-term disappearance is captivity. Some people leave by choice. Some people leave by choice. Sometimes there is abuse. Sometimes there is mental health. Sometimes there is struggle. Sometimes there's something else entirely. In this case, we don't know. We don't know why she disappeared or what happened for all these years. Not in Michelle's case. We don't know. She has not said. Law enforcement has not said. And we don't know. Again, when the news broke the other day, it was said she was found safe after 24 years. And all I know is that that in itself is a pure miracle. It's a miracle. And it gives hope to many, many families. And I still say amen. And I still say I am so glad and I'm so happy she's safe. I'm happy she's alive. And I hope and I pray whatever happened to her, she can overcome it. And I hope all of her family can heal. And I hope in time they can all see each other. I hope they can see each other again. I hope they can forgive each other for if there needs to be forgiveness. Yeah, it's clear she was taken care of all these years. I don't know what happened. Again, I'm not taking up for her either way. I don't know. I don't want to speak on it again. It was just something I had, and I was like, wow, this is crazy. But rather than going at her throat, rather than not going in with any facts, rather than not knowing, I just thought it's a miracle. I hope Sebastian can be found. I hope, all these kids, I hope Miss Nancy can be found. After 24 years, this is the greatest thing that could happen. And then I thought, wait a minute. I don't know what happened to her. The other day, everything was fine and kosher. She wasn't going to be arrested. And she's not arrested for leaving or being found. She could still be in shock just for being gone and need a few minutes to want to go home. That's the same thing with Sebastian, y'all. Me and Seth talked about this many times. Everybody thinks, oh, when Sebastian comes, I'm going to give him a hug. I want to meet him. Oh, my God, I can't wait. Y'all, that ain't going to happen. I really hope everybody can understand and get a grip. First of all, Katie, Chris, and Seth all can tell y'all that ain't going to happen. The law can tell y'all that ain't going to happen. I don't care who you are. I don't care if it's me. I don't care if it's Joe Blow. I don't care who it is. It ain't going to happen. I don't care if it's been the biggest advocates for him. It ain't going to happen. So I thought this lady, I'll get off of that. So I thought this lady just might have needed a little time before she went home. So we don't know. Hey, lady, good morning. So we don't know why she was missing, but I just thought it would be a great opportunity to speak on the Stockholm Syndrome. Again, I am not saying this is what happened to her, but I was just surprised to learn that just on an old non-appearance, she was arrested. So I just thought it would be a great teaching on the Stockholm set, kind of separate but together. A lot of people mix their shows up because we may not have another opportunity to talk about that. You know, I mean, I could do a separate show on it, but, you know, I just don't have a lot of time. So I just thought, well, let's talk about this, and it'd be great to kind of merge it, you know. But I just, you know, I am so grateful she's found, and I just hope, I think it's a miracle. And, you know, Gypsy's right. Whatever it was, it looks like she was taken care of. But sometimes that happens too. I mean, people, it's almost like, again, I spoke on earlier, they groom them as well. So, yeah, of course, they're going to take good care of them, you know. But we don't know that's what happened here. We don't know anything. It just caught my attention that she could just be a recluse. Who knows? Who knows? Again, that's just my thoughts and my opinions, but yeah. But I really appreciate y'all joining me this morning. I thank you for being here. You know, I wanted to come on and touch on this. I mean, I wish her well in life, and I hope everything goes okay in her court. Maybe she'll get probation. Maybe she'll get, you know, with her family. Maybe she'll get a fine. This is she's 62 years old now. This is an old case from 2001. You know, obviously she was still drinking. Maybe they'll give her counseling, you know. And as we heard, her daughter, you know, her and her dad was, you know, all these things back then. So maybe he's got him some help too. So who knows? I don't know. Maybe they all need some help. AA, NA, what do they call that for the kids? I don't, Al-Anon. Maybe they all got help. Who knows? So, yeah, I put a link in here. She was missing for 24 years, and I played a video. It kind of gives the details. I just played one. It's up in North Carolina. So she went missing on Christmas, and Bama Cat, and it's starting to come out now. It's starting to come out, but I think it's a miracle in itself that she was found, because I always look at things differently, I guess. I mean, hey, while you're out there in 24 years, you know, same thing with Sebastian or anybody, 2 years. Isn't anybody worried about what could happen to somebody in 2 years? Car wrecks. I mean, if anybody's alive, I mean, don't anybody worry about if they could get deceased, have a health problem, have a fall, hit their head? I mean, then what? Maybe I'm just too gloom and doom. I don't know. Thank you, Raymond. Thank you for gifting a membership for Smiley Squad. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Woo hoo hoo. I don't have my bell with me. I can get my woo. Oh, you can't hear it. Jingle my keys, jingle bells, jingle bells. Lord, I was trying to fix my thing up here earlier, and had Christmas stuff up here. I'm like, oh my God, get that down. That would be so embarrassing. This lady went missing Christmas and they think I'm trying to do a Christmas scene and I'm not. I'm like, oh my God, I got to get that down. They don't even know me. Oh Lord. You know, it'd have been all right if it was just y'all, but I'm like, let me get that Christmas shit down. I don't even know what buttons I was on, honey. I had a pretty cool thumbnail and it was too big. Look, I don't even know what time zone I'm in, for real. Had to go back and change it. I'm sorry, y'all. But anyway. So anyway, I hope that y'all have a great day. It looks like it's going to rain here today, but I'm going to go get me some coffee. Mine is cold now. Half a cup and it's cold. Anyway, tastes like crap. So I will talk to y'all in a little bit. Thank you, Raymond, and whoever got that. Maybe you're in the bushes. Just welcome to Smiley Squad. I love you all, and I will talk to y'all later. And everybody be safe. Smiley, we'll see you in the streets. YouTube streets, that is. Let me play y'all out. I will play y'all out. Let me get my button here. Let me get my button. Oh, let me get my button. Okay, love y'all.
She was born and bred in Nashville, but she walks the beaches down in Florida sand. A mother and wife, a daughter, a sister, trying hard to do the best she can. She found her voice with a heavy heart, looking for purpose with trembling hands. And giving this all a new start, moving ahead, speaking for ones who came. And she says, I am who I am, I'll stand my ground. Even when the nights get long and rough, you'll hear my sound. She'll be speaking for the ones unheard, 'cause she's got a caring heart that won't be turned. Her mama fought cancer while she was searching, stories that needed a gentle voice. We saw summer's name and felt the heart ache and tried to bring light where there was no choice. And when she heard of Sebastian, her sadness rose. She prays for truth through the noise. She'll follow wherever the story goes, seeking their dignity, a child's joy.